The moment I saw my husband's name in the therapy notes, next to someone else's, I felt the ground disappear beneath me. I had married a man I thought I knew, yet his secrets had claws sharp enough to tear our life apart. I had been sitting in Dr. Harper's office, thinking therapy would help me feel closer to David, but instead, a single line in his notes made me doubt every moment we shared. My hands shook, and I couldn't catch my breath. When I asked David about it that evening, he laughed nervously and said it was nothing serious, but the way his eyes avoided mine told me he was lying. I felt like I was drowning in my own home. I called Lucy immediately. She had a way of cutting through lies with brutal honesty. "You need to get the whole story, Emily," she said. "You can't stay blind now." That night, David seemed distant. I tried to sleep, but every word he had ever said now felt like a question. My trust was cracked, and I didn't know if it could be fixed. Dr. Harper suggested a session alone with him. I agreed reluctantly. Sitting across from David, I could almost hear the lies between us, thick like fog. I wanted the truth, no matter how sharp it would hurt. The confessions started slowly, one name, then another. Each one felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I wanted to scream, but only whispers escaped. Mia, that was the name that made the room spin. He had loved her before me, and apparently it wasn't entirely over. My heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. Lucy came over the next day, eyes sharp. "You need proof, Emily. Don't let him gaslight you." We spent hours going through messages, pictures, and anything that might confirm the nightmare. The texts were worse than I imagined. Late-night messages, secret meetings, sweet lies that were meant for someone else. I felt sick, but also strangely awake, like seeing clearly for the first time. David begged for forgiveness, saying he loved me, but I could feel the cold distance he had built over the years. Love was no longer enough to erase betrayal. I told Sophie, my sister, everything. She held my hand and said, "You deserve the truth, Emily, and you deserve peace." Her words were like a soft anchor in a storm. In therapy, Dr. Harper pushed David further. I listened in horror as he admitted to multiple affairs, even while married. I felt like I was watching a stranger in my own house. I couldn't eat, sleep, or breathe normally. Every familiar corner of my life now carried shadows of his lies. My heart ached with every memory of him smiling at me. David tried to explain, saying he was young and foolish. But I didn't want excuses. I wanted the man I married, and I realized he might never truly exist. I reached out to Mia, curious and terrified. Surprisingly, she responded. Her words were calm but firm. "He's told me about you. You deserve the truth." Meeting Mia was surreal. She was composed, almost too normal. Her presence made me realize how deep David's lies had been, not just to me, but to everyone around him. Mia told stories I couldn't believe, dates, letters, secrets I never imagined. David had lived a parallel life that I had no idea existed. Lucy suggested confronting David with everything. "No sugarcoating. He needs to see your pain," she said. I realized this confrontation would decide the future of our marriage. The confrontation was brutal. Words flew like knives, accusations and defenses tangled in the air. David looked like a man caught in his own web. After the fight, silence fell. I retreated to my room, shaking, feeling both powerless and strong. I realized my life had changed forever. Therapy became my sanctuary. Dr. Harper guided me to separate love from trust and to understand that betrayal was not my fault. I started writing my thoughts in a journal, pouring out anger, sadness, and tiny sparks of hope. Writing was a lifeline, a way to reclaim my voice. David tried to change. I watched carefully, still cautious. Some days he seemed sincere, others distant. Trust would take time, if it ever returned. Sophie and Lucy reminded me that I was not alone. Their love was steady. Unlike David's unpredictable past, I felt gratitude for them every day. I visited places from our past, the park where we met, the cafe we loved. The memories were bittersweet, but I could see the life I once cherished without illusions. David and I attended a group therapy session. Seeing other couples' struggles made mine feel both unique and painfully common. We were just one story among many. I confronted my feelings for David. Love was still there, but layered with hurt, suspicion, and caution. I realized forgiveness was a process, not a moment. We began to rebuild slowly, small gestures, honest talks, therapy. Every day was a test of patience, courage, and hope. Months passed. I could laugh again. Trust was fragile, but stronger than before in some ways. I had survived betrayal and learned my own resilience. Finally, I looked at David and said quietly, "We have a long road, but I'm willing to try." And for the first time in months, hope felt real.